Most people think being broke is about not making enough money, but that's not true. If that were the case, no high earner would ever go broke. But we see it all the time: celebrities, athletes, people who make millions yet still end up bankrupt. There's one thing that keeps people broke, and if you don't fix it, you'll stay broke no matter how much you earn. It's not about bad luck. It's not about the economy. It's not even about how much money you make. This one thing determines whether you build wealth or stay stuck in the same financial struggles forever. And here's the crazy part. Most people don't even realize they're making this mistake. And what's worse, they think they're doing everything right. So today I'm going to break it all down for you: why this one thing is keeping you broke, how it shows up in your daily life, and most importantly, how to fix it. Because if you don't, you'll stay broke, period. So if you're interested in learning how to fix this and start building wealth, then you are in the right place. Welcome to Flourish in Wealth, where financial freedom begins. This is where most people go wrong. The moment money hits their bank account, it's already spent on bills, subscriptions, eating out, shopping, entertainment, and sometimes things they don't even remember buying. Payday comes and boom, the money is gone within days. They don't budget, they don't save, they just spend. At the end of the month, they're back to zero, waiting for the next paycheck. And this cycle, it never stops. No matter how much they earn, they never have anything left. And here's the painful truth: if you spend everything you earn, you will always be broke. Most people think their problem is not making enough money. They say, if I could just make $10,000 a month, I'd be set. If I had a six-figure salary, I'd be rich. If I got that promotion, things would be different. But here's the thing: income does not equal wealth. Wealth is not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. There are athletes, celebrities, and lottery winners who made millions and went bankrupt. And there are regular people who made average salaries but became millionaires. The difference? How they managed their spending. There are people who never made six figures in their lifetime but retired with wealth. How? Because they mastered one simple rule: spending less than they earn. A perfect example is Ronald Reed, a janitor and gas station attendant who quietly built a fortune of over $8 million. He never made big money. He never had a fancy job. But he did two things right. He spent less than he earned, and he invested consistently over time. While others around him were spending on cars, gadgets, and expensive lifestyles, he lived modestly and made his money work for him. By the time he passed, he was a millionaire, while many people who made way more than him were still struggling. His story proves that wealth isn't about income, it's about discipline. Chris Raining also started with a regular 9-to-5 job, but he didn't let that limit him. He lived below his means, avoided lifestyle inflation, and started investing early. By 37, he was financially independent and retired. He didn't need a massive paycheck to start building wealth. He just needed the right mindset and discipline. What do these people have in common? They didn't let their income define them. They made smart decisions with the money they had, kept their spending under control, and let their savings grow over time. They didn't buy the newest iPhone every year. They didn't live in a house they couldn't afford. They didn't waste money on things that didn't matter. Instead, they saved and invested consistently, even if it was a small amount at first. Over time, that money grew. Their disciplined spending allowed them to buy assets instead of liabilities. And that's how wealth is built, not by earning more and spending more, but by spending wisely and making your money work for you. On the flip side, we've seen countless stories of people who made huge amounts of money but lost it all, because it doesn't matter how much you make. If you spend everything or more, you will always end up broke. Look at NBA players who signed $100 million contracts and ended up bankrupt within years of retiring. Why? Because they lived paycheck to paycheck, even when their paychecks were millions. They bought mansions they couldn't afford to maintain. They spent millions on cars, jewelry, and parties. They had no budget, no plan, no control. And the moment their income stopped, everything collapsed. Then you have lottery winners. Studies show that 70% of lottery winners end up broke within a few years. Why? Because they never learned how to manage money. The money came in fast and it went out even faster. They bought things they didn't need: mansions, luxury cars, private jets. They gave money away without thinking about the future, and before they knew it, they had nothing left. It wasn't about how much they had. It was about how they handled it. When you spend every dollar you make, you trap yourself in a never-ending cycle of financial stress. You can't save for emergencies, so when something unexpected happens, you go into debt. You can't invest, so your money never grows. You can't take opportunities because you're always trying to catch up. And the worst part, you become dependent on your paycheck. You can't afford to miss a paycheck. You can't take time off. You can't escape the rat race because you're always broke. no matter how much you make. It doesn't matter if you make $2,000 a month or $20,000. If you spend everything, you'll always be broke. This is the brutal truth that so many people ignore. People believe that making more money will solve all their financial problems, but time and time again we see that this isn't the case. It doesn't just happen to rich people, it happens to regular people every single day. Someone gets a raise at work, and instead of improving their financial situation, they increase their spending. They get a bigger house, a nicer car, more expensive vacations. Before they know it, they're still living paycheck to paycheck, just on a higher level. Why does this happen? Because financial success isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. If you don't learn how to manage what you have, no amount of money will ever be enough. So how do you fix it? How do you make sure you're not falling into the trap of spending everything and staying broke? It starts with having a plan. And one of the best systems you can use is the 50-30-20 rule. The 50-30-20 rule is a simple way to break down your income and make sure you're not spending everything you earn. It divides your money into 3 categories, 50% for needs. This is the money you use for essential expenses, rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, and other necessities. These are the things you must pay for no matter what. 30% for wants. This is where most people lose control. Wants include dining out, entertainment, travel, shopping, and other non-essential spending. It's okay to enjoy your money, but the key is to set limits so it doesn't drain your entire paycheck. 20% for savings and investments. This is the most important category because this is what builds wealth. This includes your emergency fund, retirement savings, investments in stocks or real estate, and any other financial goals that secure your future. Now here's where most people go wrong. Instead of following this rule, they flip it. They spend 50% or more on wants, barely cover their needs, and then save whatever is left, if anything at all. This is why so many people are broke. They put saving last instead of making it a priority. Most people wait until the end of the month to see what's left before they save. And the problem with that is that there's usually nothing left. There's always another bill, another unexpected expense, another temptation to spend. This is why you have to flip the script. Instead of saving whatever is left, you need to take your savings off the top before you do anything else with your money. This is called paying yourself first. It means that the moment you get paid, a percentage of your income goes directly into savings or investments before you touch a single dollar. The easiest way to do this is by automating your savings. Set up an automatic transfer so that a portion of your paycheck goes straight to a separate savings or investment account. This way you don't even have to think about it. It happens automatically, and you're building wealth without even trying. This is the #1 habit that separates people who stay broke from people who build wealth. Wealthy people don't save what's left. They save first and spend what's left. This one habit alone can completely change your financial future. Most people don't save because they don't make it a priority. They tell themselves they'll save whatever is left over. But in reality, there's never anything left. The money always finds a way to disappear. When you pay yourself first, you force yourself to live within your means. You make saving a non-negotiable part of your budget. And over time, those savings start to add up. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine you make $3,000 a month. If you decide to save just 10%, that's $300 per month. That might not seem like a lot, but over a year, that's $3,600. In 5 years, that's $18,000. Now, if you invest that money and let it grow, it can turn into 6 figures or even millions over time. Now, imagine you make $5,000 or $10,000 a month and you save 20% or more. The numbers get even bigger. The key is consistency. Small amounts saved consistently over time will always beat large amounts saved occasionally. Before I continue, I want you to go to the comment section below and type, "I will pay myself first." Let this remind you of the commitment you are making today. And if you're finding value in this video, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps the algorithm and it really supports the channel so I can keep bringing you more content like this. Let's get back to it. Now let's talk about the consequences of spending everything you make. When you spend everything, you trap yourself in a cycle where you're always living paycheck to paycheck. You never have savings, so the moment something unexpected happens, like a medical bill, a car repair, or losing your job, you go into debt. You can't invest, so your money never grows. You stay stuck working for money instead of making your money work for you. You have no financial freedom. You can't afford to take time off. You can't afford to say no to a bad job or bad working conditions. You're completely dependent on your paycheck. And that means you're not in control of your life. And here's the scary part. It doesn't matter how much you make. If you spend it all, you're still broke. This is why you see people making six figures who are still struggling. They have high incomes, but they also have high expenses. And because they spend everything, they have nothing left when life throws them a curveball. So how do you fix this? How do you stop spending everything and start building real financial security? First, start tracking your expenses. Most people have no idea where their money is actually going. They think they don't make enough to save, but in reality, they're just not paying attention to their spending. Start writing down every dollar you spend for a month. You'll be shocked at how much money is disappearing on things that don't really matter. Second, set a budget and stick to it. Use the 50-30-20 rule as a guide. Make sure you're setting aside money for savings and investments before you start spending on non-essentials. Third, cut unnecessary expenses. If you can't afford to save, you can't afford to waste money on things you don't need. Cut back on eating out, cancel subscriptions you don't use, stop upgrading your phone every year. Fourth, build an emergency fund. If you don't have savings, one unexpected bill can wipe you out. Set aside at least 3 to 6 months worth of expenses so that you're not living on the edge. And most importantly, start investing. Saving is great, but if you really want to build wealth, you need to make your money work for you. Start putting money into stocks, index funds, real estate, or any other assets that appreciate over time. This is how you break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. The only way to get ahead financially is to take control of your money. Spend less than you earn. Save and invest consistently. Stop chasing instant gratification. Because at the end of the day, wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. Hey, if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, make sure to check out my other video here for more money tips and ways to take control of your finances. You won't want to miss it.